Hi everyone, welcome to the video. This is the continuation video. If you haven't watched my previous video, you should watch that, where I initially exploited a Windows machine and entirely use artificial intelligence for this ethical hacking. So I will just walk you through again about the scenario. Here we have the internet service provider, then we have a Wi-Fi, and there is a switch, and then there are a couple of endpoints, as you can see. And this is two different scenarios. In my previous video, as I mentioned before, there was a internal penetration testing where the hacker, ethical hacker, was inside the organization having the LAN access, internal penetration testing. But now we are going to perform an external penetration test, assuming that our target is metasploitable.com. The web server is inside this organization, and the ethical hacker is doing security assessment connected via a different wide area network, different internet service provider, as you can see here. And first, all the all I have, I mean, the information that I have right now is the website, that is the metasploitable.com. And then I'm going to use artificial intelligence and hack into this, try to actually exploit this public facing server or endpoint as part of external penetration testing. And I'll be using OpenAI's ChatGPT, and also the ShellGPT, which is already configured. So that also the video you can see. I will show you somewhere in the video. There is a previous video you can see. So I will just start with this information that I have a website which is metasploitable.com, and it is public facing, but I'm actually creating this as a lab, for example, lab environment, in a virtual lab environment. But the concept is external penetration testing, exploiting Metasploit. But we are assuming that it is external, but actually it is hosted in my same network, local area network. As you can see, I will show you the demonstration. As you can see, this is Metasploitable machine, and this is the website that I'm going to do the penetration. External penetration testing, or you can say like a web application hacking. So if I visit the website, all I see is metasploitable.com, and there are a couple of websites like DVWA and other web application, PHP MyAdmin, and Mutilated too. But we are going to focus on DVWA now to get the initial access. That means we are going to perform a command injection in DVWA. And what I'm going to do is now, for example, if I need to scan for something, so I will ask ShellGPT to find the IP for this website. So usually we can directly scan using Nmap, but I'm just trying to find the IP of this website, for example. So it is dig, sort, and giving this command. So I will execute the command, and you can see it's metasploitable.com. It is giving a different IP actually. So it is going to the internet. So I'm not actually, I don't want that, but instead I can ping metasploitable.com and get the IP. So you can see we got the IP. Anyway, I will again ask ShellGPT to do the initial port scanning for this public facing that we are performing. I mean, going to do the pen test on. As GPT shell do a nmap scan on this website and only show open ports. For example, we want only open ports. So let's check what will be the command. Okay, so we're getting a command. Let's execute the command. I'm using OpenAI's API key and configured with ShellGPT. If you know like how to do it, if you want to do it, like I have some videos, you can check my previous videos. So now we are actually scanning the entire port. Like this command is going to scan all the 65,535 ports and then only finding the open ports. That is why it is taking little time actually. So once we have a port open, we can run other commands like version detection. So let it run in the background, and for this, like before we start the hacking actually, because this damn vulnerable, if I have to tell you, it's a vulnerable application and is having some web application related vulnerabilities actually. So now what we are going to do is exploit the command injection vulnerability, and if I need to log in, like it will be admin and the password is password, and I will log in first, and I will actually change the security because it's like high at the moment, and I'll make it vulnerable by changing the security to low, and then I will go to this is a lab environment, by the way. It's not a real website, and this is just for testing purpose and to teach cybersecurity students or any cybersecurity professional to show how this kind of vulnerability exists, and if it exists, how it can be exploited by a hacker. And now we are going to perform the command injection, as you can see here. So this is a vulnerable application, and this application here we can actually ping. This is the functionality. For example, if I ping 127.0.0.1 or any IP address, so it is a loopback IP address. So this is the functionality of the application, that you can enter something, that means IP, and it will ping and give you a result. But because this functionality of this web application is vulnerable to command injection, we can do some commands like write some command injection, check whether it is vulnerable. So what we can do is like we will enter that same IP, and then we can use a pipe operator to add another command, like because this application is actually, we have to first check whether the web server. So here in this diagram, this web server is actually Linux. It's not Windows. So I will write it here. So it's Linux. Because it's Linux, I can run only Linux command. The commands that we can run in terminals like wmi, pwd and all that, ls. But if it is a Windows, if this web application Metasploitable, if it is if for example it is hosted in a Windows web server, based web server, which is IIS, Internet Information Service, then I need to run Windows command like ipconfig, dir and all that, right? So that is the difference. But because this machine is Linux, but we haven't found actually whether it's Linux or Windows. For that is why actually we are doing the port scanning, but I think it is taking long time. So instead of this entire command, I just want to scan maybe like only the open ports. I'm not going to scan entire all the ports actually. So this is the command. Let me check www.metasploitable.com. I hope yeah, so we got all the open ports now, and the service we are looking for is HTTP service, because here we have HTTP, so definitely there should be a web server, right? So I will write again, do a nmap scan on this website and find the version on HTTP on port 80, for example. So we need to, and also determine operating system. So this I should have done it first actually rather than but anyway, so we are going to determine the operating system of the server that is running and also the version at port 80. So here we have HTTP port, and also we need to find out the version of the HTTP, maybe it's Apache, Nginx or whatever server that we will find. That is what we are asking ShellGPT to write that command, and also determine the operating system by doing you can say port 139 net BIOS is open, and also SMB SMB over Linux would be Samba, so 445 or 139. So also determine operating system uh, using dot NSC SMB script. So I will write this command and let's check. I hope I will get the correct command that I'm expecting. So yeah, so I'm actually now scanning port 80, and then the HTTP server header SMB OS discovery will determine the operating system whether it is Linux or Windows. So now actually from the external, I'm doing an external pen test, and I actually found the IP by pinging, and also did a network scan and found open ports. Now actually as a ethical hacker or pen tester, I want to find whether the port 80 HTTP service, what is the version of the web server, and also the operating system it is running, right? So then after that I will do the command injection accordingly. So after I find about the Linux or Windows or whatever, right? So I will execute this command now, and it is going to do aggressive scan as well. So it will actually do version detection. Otherwise in Nmap we do hyphen small s capital V for version detection, and as you can see I did particularly scan on port 80 and was able to determine it's a Apache web server version 2.2.8, right? And also I was able to determine the operating system. So that script, where is the script? Here I can see it's Ubuntu, and also operating system details you can see because we run this OS discovery NSC. Here we have this Linux. So after we know that yeah it is a Linux operating system, we can run Linux script. So that is till here we have done it, and let's okay. So now I will ask ShellGPT to perform write a, I will just write actually, write a command on Linux So yeah, Shell GPT it does know actually about the Metasploitable. So Metasploitable 2, but let's check. So I'm doing a using curl actually. We can actually we could have done it via directly in the uh, web application itself, but we can do what we can do is like send a post, and then using the curl option, and also we have to change here the DVWA, then cookies and session ID. So I don't want to do it because if it is really a public facing web application, we could have used curl, actually curl, and send those requests. But now, because we have access to the web application itself, so I'm going to abort this scan, and I will write a command injection on Linux in metasploitable to dvwa, or I can actually ask ShellGPT. So you can see I have actually previously asked ShellGPT, ChatGPT, sorry, to solve metasploitable to dvwa command injection, and you can see in a unique way to escalate the privilege, and it is giving me some commands, as you can see. So we have this command 127, we will ping, and then who am I to find. So either we can use this and who am I, or we can also, so that is what in this ethical hacking we are using artificial intelligence, ShellGPT and ChatGPT, and so that we can increase our efficiency and do learn new things, and also learn or do differently, like to increase our efficiency, right? So along with this, I'm using a pipe operator, and then I can do who am I command, because I have determined that this is a Linux operating system. So now I can run Linux command. So who am I? So if I enter, submit this in the web application, because it is vulnerable to command injection, you can see I am www data. So I'm not root actually, but I'm www data here, and I'm able to run commands as well. So I can also check other commands, or I can use the same that was and right, that was suggested by ShellGPT here, and then who am I. So I can also try this instead of the pipe, and you can see, yeah, we got the same command. We were able to execute the command, right? Then after that, I can actually check whether netcat is installed or not. So what we can do is like ask ShellGPT, or I can simply write here which netcat, right? So you can see netcat is installed, which bin. So now we can go to the terminal and write command injection on Linux in metasploitable to get a reverse shell, using netcat, because we have netcat installed. We confirmed we are able to run Linux command as well, and let's check now. So we have this command now, netcat e bin bash attacker IP and attacker port. So here we have to give the attacker IP and attacker port, and also we can run a listening command. So I'm going to import this, and also write a command to get a reverse to listen to netcat for incoming connection. So we will write this command, and we need to open a listener actually, then we will get the connection. You can see netcat ll lv np and then port 444. We will execute this command, and now it is actually listening on port 4444, and we need to run this command netcat e bin bash and then attacker IP and attacker port. So that we have to find out actually. So before that, I'm going to split this terminal, and we are actually listening for an incoming connection, and we also need to run this script. So let's ask ShellGPT to find our I will copy this part now as GPT shell find my private IP address of this machine, and ShellGPT is actually going to write me the command IP address grep this. So I'm going to execute this command. I could have done IP space A or ifconfig as well, but this is actually, we're learning new things where we can note all this command down so that we can improve our efficiency in ethical hacking, right? So that is what this video I made before. If you haven't checked, again, I hope I actually informed mentioned that in the previous part where I use artificial intelligence to hack into a Windows machine. Now I'm using artificial intelligence to hack into a Linux machine. So I'll be posting more videos. So if you I will be posting more videos for YouTube, and you will be actually might be interested. So you can like and subscribe to my channel so that you can get a notification on YouTube whenever you get I will upload a new video. So you can see we got the private IP address. So that is the private IP address here, and I already copied the command. So I will use this bin bash, or I can also write another like this same command I need to actually execute in the application to get a reverse shell, and we are listing here actually. So I will exit this terminal, and now we are listing, only listing. So I will do a vertical. So here I will ask ShellGPT to write a command injection to get a reverse shell using netcat, and I want to use the same port here. We are listing on port 4444, so I want to use port 4444, and attacker IP is, I will paste my attacker IP here. Now we will get that command hopefully by ShellGPT, because we are using artificial intelligence. I am actually using all the command from ShellGPT or ChatGPT, OpenAI's. So now we got the command, right? So I'm going to abort this. I don't want to execute. Okay, I'll exit from this terminal as well, and I have copied and hoping we will get a connection, incoming connection here. So I will run that command now along with this, and I'm going to paste the command. So what we are doing is pinging, and because this application is vulnerable and to command injection, and then there is a netcat as well installed that we confirmed earlier. So running Linux command here, and we are going to do bin bash and press enter. And when I press submit, you can see the browser is loading. That means like the command injection is successful, and we should get a reverse shell. So you can see we got a connection to unknown port 10.01.14. So we can type who am I, because we are connected, who am I, and you say we are data. We can do ls also. We can run all that commands, but we are not we didn't get an interactive shell yet actually, as you can see. So what we can do is I will open another terminal here, right side. So ShellGPT as, so I will say like write a command to so we need to confirm whether Python is installed or not. So we will see which Python. So Python is installed. Then we can use a interactive shell command using there is a typo actually. So this is not an interactive shell, but we got the connection, right, using Python. Okay, so let's see what command ShellGPT gives us. And you can see we got a Python 3c import pty spawn bin bash. So instead of Python 3, we want actually Python. Usually Metasploitable might be running Python, I don't know, Python 3 or 2, right? So I will abort this and then check Python version. But we are not getting a version here. Oh, my bad. Actually, we lost this actually. But what we will do is like I will because this is not an interactive shell. That is why actually I wanted to. So let's suspend this, and now I will clear this screen, and again I will try to listen with the same command. Okay, okay. What was the command? Injection listen for incoming connection. Okay, yeah. We are going to use the same command and execute it. Now we are listening on port 4444, and we have to go and actually run this again because we lost the shell, initial shell. So again we are going to run this, and now again we got the shell, and this time I'm going to actually uh, use this as Python because I think it's not Python 3 in Metasploitable because it's an old machine, right? So there the version I wanted to check, but the machine got stuck. So I will use this command to get an interactive shell, and you can see we got an interactive shell. Now which Python version we can check. So Python is 2.5. My guess was correct. So now we got an interactive shell to this, and we want to escalate our privilege, right? So we don't have the privilege now. Who am I? So we are www data, and we can do ls. We are pwd. We can see these are the files, and we are in this directory. We can move around actually in other directories like cd, and then if I do ls or pwd cd, we'll move back actually couple of directories. As you can see, we're going backwards and backwards. We are going backwards, like we were in exe, like www data vulnerabilities exe. So now we are going back data var, and we are in this directory, and we have all these files. As you can see, we are in the Apache var www HTML folder, where we have for www folder we have all the files of Metasploitable, like index.php, you can see, right? And now we want to escalate our privilege because we cannot do many other things because we have lack of for example, we have lack, we don't have the privilege. Who am I? So I'll just make the video quick. So after shell access in Metasploitable to write a command to check permissions for privilege escalation, for example. So now we want to escalate our privilege so that we have all the rights and we can run different commands. and this is the command we can see to escalate our privilege. And I'm going to run this, and it says permission denied. I'm not able to run this. Find perm null. Okay, there is another, actually. I missed one, actually, so I copied till here, right? So you can see these are the files actually having root permission, and what we can see here is there is a nmap as well, right? So abort. So in this version of nmap there is a interactive shell, actually, so that we can initial action right is using nmap. Actually, I will write a command, write a command with nmap to escalate privilege. So there is an interactive, actually, shell, because it's an old nmap version. Nowadays we don't have the interactive shell in nmap, but yeah, so it is not showing it here, actually. So we have to be this is the result, actually, but the thing is, what I'm going to trying to focus here is, like, we should be very good with our prompts. If we are not very good if we are not good with our prompts, then actually it is not going to work properly. So if I go back to chat GPT, here you can see that it also gives us the same, actually. For example, it asks to run a netcat reverse shell, and then we need to run this command, but it is like little different, but we already got this. And in order to escalate privilege, asking to run that command, we also ran a different, actually, permission to check the permission of specific files, but here we can check directories as well. And if I run this command again, the same thing, and we got an interactive shell as well, and we have all this having root privilege right, and there is an nmap as well, right? So after that, it is also saying that you can do nmap interactive, so we can run this command, nmap interactive, and you can say we got the interactive shell with nmap, and we can actually run this. After that, we can actually get a ish shell. So I will copy this and then paste. So this is for educational purpose, and this is everything is done in a lab setup. Actually, I'm not breaking any law, and for educational purpose I'm trying to demonstrate how we can do ethical hacking and increase our efficiency using artificial intelligence. And we are doing this scenario, like we're doing a pen testing and exploiting a public facing web server. You can say it's a website, and we actually got access to the Linux machine, and after gaining access, initial access, we are now escalating our privilege. And once we have the privilege escalation, I mean, if we could escalate our privilege, so let's check who am I again. So now you can say we are root. We were able to escalate our privilege, and you can see there are other options also. If this wouldn't have worked, then what we could have done is like maybe like try to exploit some misconfigured cron job, like for scheduling task, and then we could have actually maybe run that and escalated our privilege. Once it is done, we can do the maintaining access so that we have a long time access. So in order to maintain access, let's do this part, actually, and we could have write in terminal, I mean shell GPT as well, but if you are not specific with the prompt, you won't get the actual commands. And also, to make the video short, I'm actually not writing all the commands, and I'm giving you the idea, actually, right? So let's do this, and it says file already exists. Okay, so I will type the next command here. Next command is I'll exit from this actually to make the terminal look good here. Okay, so we have done this step. Now we are actually adding persistence. That means we are actually creating a SSH and authorization keys and your public key. So here actually we need to gain access later on to this machine. So for that we have done this for persistence, right? And it is done actually. So now what we can do is I can copy this and ask again ShellGPT after this step how to get access to the machine. So we need to actually I mean like we need to actually get access using SSH to that machine. So how do we get access? So verify whether the service is running by using this command, and we can log in using this actually. As a root user to that machine, it is telling actually. So maybe like I will use this command and the target IP address to gain access again, because I know that target IP is which one. We can find it anyway. Like we'll open a new terminal and then we'll do ping www dot metasploitable.com. After finding the IP address, I'm going to give this IP and it says unable, not able to connect. Maybe like we have to so this part actually is like was confusing. Anyway, we can skip, but the persistent part you can or do a research and you can let me know in the comments like if you're able to. So SSH part we will skip to make it short, but in the upcoming video I might add it and show you this demonstration. But here what we did was again a quick recap before we end this video. There was like we did external penetration testing and we found a public facing website, and after doing the scanning and determining the operating system and the version, Apache server, Linux operating system, we found a application, assuming that the application was vulnerable, right? It is indeed vulnerable. So we actually found there is a command injection, and then we found netcat, and then we got an initial access using netcat reverse TCP, reverse connection, reverse shell, and then after that we were also try to I mean we got an interactive shell as well, and then we escalated our privilege by finding permission. We found nmap, and then we do the interactive, like we did nmap interactive and then execute sh, and who am I, we were root, and then we can actually maintain some persistence actually, so using that cron job or adding a ssh key, but that didn't work. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and you can expect some more video using artificial intelligence to perform ethical hacking. So I will bring more advanced stuff for YouTube in the upcoming video. So please subscribe to my channel and like. If you like the video, really like it, you can like it. Thanks for watching, guys.